Most people read Machiavelli as a manual for manipulators. But there is a smarter way to read him, as the best warning system ever written against the people who try to manipulate you. Machiavelli told the powerful exactly how they deceive, how they pretend, how they make you trust them right before they use you. And once you understand those tactics, you can see them coming. Today we are turning his playbook inside out. Here are 5 manipulation tactics straight from Machiavelli, not so you can use them, but so that no one can use them on you again. Machiavelli wrote The Prince as honest advice to rulers about how power actually works. He stripped away the comforting illusions and described human behavior as he had really seen it. That honesty is exactly what makes him useful to you, because the tricks he described to princes 500 years ago are the same ones used today by manipulative bosses, salespeople, partners, and anyone else who wants something from you and would rather get it through deception than honesty. Let's walk through them one by one. Number 1. The mask of virtue. Machiavelli's most quietly dangerous insight is that appearances beat reality in the minds of most people. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few touch what you are." He advised the prince that he does not actually need every good quality, he only needs to appear to have them. To seem merciful, faithful, honest, and devout, while being ready to act otherwise the moment it serves him. Here is the defense. If appearance is the manipulator's weapon, then your defense is to judge by pattern, not by performance. Manipulators invest heavily in seeming trustworthy, the warm words, the polished image, the carefully managed reputation. What they cannot fake over time is their behavior under pressure. So stop asking, do they seem like a good person? Ask, what have they actually done repeatedly when it cost them something? The mask is for the eyes. The truth is in the track record. When someone's image is far more impressive than their actual history of actions, that gap is the warning. Watch the hands, not the face. Number 2. Exploiting your need to believe. Machiavelli made a chilling observation about why deception works so reliably. He wrote, "Men are so simple and so subject to present necessities that he who seeks to deceive will always find someone who will allow himself to be deceived." Read what he's really saying. The deceiver doesn't even have to be that good. He just has to find someone who wants the lie to be true. People are deceived because, in the moment, the lie is more convenient than the truth. This is the manipulation that lives inside almost every scam, every too-good-to-be-true offer, every relationship red flag we explain away. The investment that promises impossible returns. The partner whose excuses don't add up, but who we forgive because we don't want to face the truth. The job offer that's vague in all the wrong places. The manipulator isn't overpowering your logic. He's renting your hope. So here is the defense. Be most suspicious exactly when you most want something to be true. That flush of excitement, that finally, this is what I needed feeling. Train yourself to treat it as a yellow light, not a green one. The moment you notice you desperately want to believe, slow down. That desire is the door manipulators walk through. Machiavelli told them it would always be open. Your job is to learn to close it. Number 3. The fox and the lion. Machiavelli's most famous strategic image is about combining 2 kinds of force. He wrote that a leader must know how to use both the beast and the man, and among the beasts must imitate both the fox and the lion. For the lion cannot defend himself against snares, and the fox cannot defend himself against wolves. Therefore, it is necessary to be a fox to discover the snares, and a lion to terrify the wolves. The lion is open force, pressure, intimidation, dominance. The fox is cunning, traps, misdirection, the deal that hides a hook. Manipulators use both against you, and they switch between them. The lion is the aggressive negotiator who pressures you to decide right now, who raises his voice, who makes you feel that resisting is dangerous. The fox is the smooth operator who buries the real terms in the fine print, who frames a bad deal as a favor, who gets you to agree to something small that quietly commits you to something large. The defense is to recognize which animal you're facing. When you feel pressure and urgency, that's the lion. and the answer to the lion is almost always to slow down and refuse to be rushed. No honest opportunity collapses because you took a day to think. When something seems suspiciously generous or strangely complicated, that's the fox, and the answer to the fox is to read carefully and ask what's hidden. Why is this person being so generous to me? Is one of the most protective questions you can ask. Number 4. The flatterer. Machiavelli devoted an entire chapter to a specific danger that surrounds powerful people. The flatterer, the one who tells you what you want to hear in order to gain influence over you. He warned that courts are full of them, and that they are hard to resist because we all enjoy being praised. He wrote that men take such pleasure in their own concerns, and so deceive themselves about them, that it is difficult for them to guard against this plague. The flatterer doesn't attack you. He agrees with you. He admires you. And in doing so, he slowly steers you, because the person who controls what you hear about yourself controls how you see the world. Machiavelli's solution is surprisingly practical and worth copying directly. He said the only defense against flatterers is to make it clear that telling you the truth does not offend you, to actively seek out honest counsel and reward it. In his words, a wise leader chooses advisors who will tell him the truth, and only about those things that he asks, and about nothing else, and then must listen to them patiently. The lesson for you is to build a small circle of people who will tell you when you're wrong, and to protect that honesty fiercely. Notice who in your life only ever agrees with you, only ever praises, never pushes back, and notice what they tend to want from you. Then notice who tells you hard truths even when it's uncomfortable. Machiavelli is telling you which of those two to trust. The flatterer is managing you. The honest critic is one of the most valuable people you have. Number 5. The slow commitment. This one Machiavelli teaches indirectly, through his observations about how power is taken and held. He understood that people resist a large demand, but accept a series of small ones, and that the most effective takeovers happen gradually, so that by the time you realize what's happening, you're already in too deep to easily refuse. He noted that injuries should be done all at once, but benefits and influence are best extended little by little, so that they bind people over time. This is the tactic behind manipulation that doesn't feel like manipulation, because each step is small. The relationship where boundaries are crossed one tiny inch at a time until you look up and don't recognize what you've agreed to. The job that asks for a little more, then a little more, until you've quietly surrendered your evenings, your weekends, your life. The deal that starts with a small, reasonable commitment and escalates once you're invested. Each individual step seems too minor to fight over. That is exactly the point. The defense is to judge the direction, not the step. Don't ask, is this one small thing acceptable? Ask, where is this whole pattern heading, and would I have agreed to the destination at the start? When you find yourself repeatedly making small concessions in the same direction, stop and look at the line they form. Manipulators count on you never zooming out. Zooming out is your defense. So let's bring the 5 together because they share a single root. The mask of virtue, exploiting your need to believe. The fox and the lion. The flatterer. The slow commitment. Every one of them works by getting you to react to the surface instead of the substance, to the image instead of the record, to the hope instead of the facts, to the pressure instead of the choice, to the praise instead of the truth, to the single step instead of the direction. Machiavelli's whole catalog of manipulation depends on you not looking closely, which means your defense, in every case, is the same underlying skill, the discipline to pause, to zoom out, and to look at what is actually there. There's a 6th principle worth naming, and it's the one that ties the others together. Manipulators rely on speed. Every tactic we've covered works better fast than slow. The mask survives a glance, but not an investigation. The convenient lie survives excitement, but not a night's sleep. The lion's pressure survives the heat of the moment, but not a calm, let me think about it. The fox's hidden hook survives a skim, but not a careful read. The flatterer survives as long as you never compare his words to his motives. The slow commitment survives only as long as you never zoom out. In every single case, time is on your side and against the manipulator. Which means your most powerful defense is also the simplest. Refuse to be hurried. Almost nothing honest in your life requires an instant answer. The pressure to decide right now is, by itself, one of the clearest signals that someone would prefer you didn't think too hard. So make, "I'll get back to you," your reflex. That single sentence disarms more manipulation than any clever countermove ever could. And notice the quiet irony in all of this. The man history calls the great teacher of manipulation has just handed you the complete defense against it. Because understanding how the game is played is exactly what makes you impossible to play. The manipulator's power depends entirely on you not seeing the move. Once you can name the tactic as it's happening, there's the mask, there's the flattery, there's the slow commitment. It loses almost all of its force. You don't have to become cynical. You don't have to treat everyone as an enemy. You just have to be awake. So the next time someone seems too polished, offers something too good, pressures you too hard, praises you too smoothly, or asks for just one more small thing, you'll recognize it. Not as paranoia, but as clear sight. That is the real gift hidden inside the most misunderstood book in history. Machiavelli wrote the manual. Now you can read it as the shield. If this gave you a sharper eye for the games people play, go back and watch the rest of this Machiavelli series, on real authority, on luck versus skill, and on building power that's genuinely your own. And for more wisdom that helps you see clearly and live deliberately, subscribe to Above Average. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.